Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Double Owner Body Transformation Podcast. And in today's podcast, I'm going to be covering the topic of how to be flexible with your fitness slash bodybuilding slash physique building, muscle building, fat loss journey, whatever you want to call it, right? There are so many ways to talk around it basically. I'm going to be giving anecdotal experiences from with regards to what's worked from mine and my clients' experiences, and some generic recommendations as well. You can get some knowledge nuggets out of this. But I'm going to be covering the topic of training, nutrition, activity levels, rest, PEDs, and supplements. But before we just get started, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and whatever is mentioned in this podcast is solely for educational and entertainment purposes only. Whatever you want to do, please do it at your own risk. Consult the physician. This is just solely for educational and entertainment purposes only. So let's probably get cracking, right? So when it comes to training, anywhere between 3 to 5 days per week is going to be good enough. Now, in case if you're more of like a hybrid athlete who's running a marathon or doing some sort of combat training, 3 days per week is going to be good for you. 3 total body sessions would be good. That way you hit every muscle group 3 times per week. That basically is it, right? And if you're more of like got a lot going on in life but you don't do any other things, right? And building muscle is something that you want to take seriously. Let's probably say you got a business going on, but at the same time you travel a lot. In that particular case, I'll probably go like, okay, let's probably train something like 4 times per week, right? So like an upper day, lower day, upper day, lower day would be a good idea, or push day, pull day, push day, pull day, 4 times per week would be a good idea. If you're training something like 5 times per week, something like push day, legs, and pull, rest, and then let's say upper body, lower body would be like another way to split your workouts, right? So this is how it's supposed to be around training. Anywhere between 45 minutes to 1 hour 15 minutes your workouts need to be. And the gym, it's preferably better that it comes on the way, not out of the way, either next to your work or your house. And that basically is it. I mean, you just gotta fucking do it, right? Nutrition. When it comes to nutrition, I highly suggest people to cook their meals, right? And you always have fucking time to cook your meals. Don't bullshit around basically. But there are a couple of ways to make it much more simple, right? Batch prep your meals, right? Use an air fryer, right? This is what I do, this is what some of my clients do. But in case if you tend to make excuses around it basically, right? And I'm gonna say excuses because everybody has time to prep their meals, trust me, right? Then a portion size guideline would be good, like 2 palms of protein, 2 fistfuls of vegetables, 1 cup tan of carbs, 1 thumb size of fat basically. But that's not going to work as and when you want to get like really bloody lean basically. So that's like another way to do things. Or you can go on a meal prep. Although I'm not a huge fan of meal preps. Meal preps suck, right? Meal preps truly suck basically in my opinion, right? Because they don't really give you foods that are nutrient dense and fill you up. So that's my opinion. Now when it comes to some form of steps, right? Use the staircase, go out for walks. If you're like busy, you're doing back-to-back calls, walk and talk. Get like a small little walking pad in your house, right? The things like that. But a lot of these things are like, you just gotta do it, right? Or if you do less steps from Monday to Friday, you can probably do more steps on Saturday and Sunday, thereby making up for the average across the week. Or you can just simply replace the step count with like a cardio session. So if you're doing something like 6,000 steps, then you can go for something like 2 high intensity interval training classes on the weekend, so that you still make up for the lack of the step count across the week, right? There are so many ways to do this. When it comes to cardio, right? Let's probably say if a person is losing body fat on just steps, you don't want to be adding an extra cardio, right? Unless and until you're doing it for heart health purposes, etc., which is another topic, which is what I'm not going to be covering in this video. But medium intensity, steady state cardio, which is just like on the treadmill at 130 to 150 beats per minute, is going to be good enough for you. but that's quite tedious and time consuming, but that's moderate. You can simply move at your own pace. But if you are someone like who is strapped on time, then wanted to hit one HIIT session is able to replace something like 3 to 4 cardio sessions per week. Don't quote me on the exact one. What I'm doing right now as per my coach is 1 high intensity interval training cardio session per week in the off season. But during prep, right, during a cutting phase, I was doing more of like the medium intensity steady state cardio, and that was something like 90 minutes per week. How you want to split it comes down to you, but I highly suggest that you do it for at least 30 minutes. So let's probably say you got like 90 minutes. You can split it across like 3 30-minute sessions or 2 45-minute sessions. Don't go like 15 minutes 6 times per week. That's not something that I'd probably suggest, because you want your heart rate to be in that particular zone for a long enough period of time, basically. So that's how I'd suggest you to split it. But sometimes you can know the option than to do that. So sometimes getting it done that way would be like the smartest way to do it. The other way is rest, right? Now, when it comes to sleep, this is something that you want to be really, really disciplined at. Wearing a sleep tracker to keep you accountable helps as well, but you don't want to get too stuck up on it. But the reason why I wear it is it keeps me accountable. I don't stress on it, but I still like to push my sleep score up. But if you are strapped on rest, taking like naps across the day is really, really helpful. Also, making up for lack of rest across the weekend is going to be helpful, but you don't want to be like abusing that, because a lot of people do that instead of focusing on the basics. That's like another one. But sleep is something that you want to be really, really disciplined. But you don't sleep, you're not going to change, because that's like another topic which I'm going to be covering some other day, right? Stress levels go up, you're not going to put on muscle, etc. Now, when it comes to my own experience of performance enhancing drugs, right? When it comes to GLP-1, I don't like to microdose it like the way the other bodybuilders do it. I just take one shot and I don't want to think. But when it comes to my anabolics like testosterone, right now I'm on Masteron as well, which is a DHT derivative, right? So when it comes to DHT derivatives, right, what I do is I don't do anything less than. Previously, I was in the starting, when it comes to everyone, if I was to be coaching someone around the anabolics, although I don't coach people around the anabolics, right, I'm not at that level yet, but I'm on the path, right? But if I'm coaching someone around anabolics in the starting, I'm going to tell them, you need to get the experience of simply microdosing your anabolics every day, right? And then as and when you get experience, reduce the frequency to something like 3 to 5 times per week, but I probably around 4 to 5 times per week. So split your weekly dosage across 4 to 5 times per week. And supplements, just take it with your breakfast. And then sleep supplements, just keep it at your bedside pole or consume it with your last meal. That's how you can be flexible, but it requires a lot of discipline. And once with the discipline is second nature to you, it gets simple. So yeah. People, if you found this useful, feel free to like, share, subscribe. And if you are interested in coaching, if you want to coach who practices what he preaches with the portfolio of results, you want to build muscle, drop body fat, all you need to do is fill in the application form below, and also check my Instagram out. Have a nice day.